YouTube Collective, thank you for joining me. Today we are watching a plumber in his natural habitat attacking the wax ring replacement. Something I think any homeowner can handle. This video may help you. I started out by removing all the water from the unit or the toilet. First from the tank in the rear, then from the bowl, completely emptying it of liquids. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Support the channel. Help me help you. We're going to take off the bolts first and foremost. There's 2 bolts near the floor at the base of the toilet. These 2 bolts hold the toilet to the flange below the toilet. We're going to remove these bolts so we can pick up the toilet and inspect the flange below it. Again, if you're so inclined, I think this is something most people could handle and save themselves some money. If you're not, get in touch with Mac Plumbing LLC or one of the great plumbers near you and let us handle it. So, this particular toilet won't be replaced. Only the wax ring, which means we have to be careful. All right, so we're ready to remove the toilet. We're gonna be very careful with this. Again, we're saving the unit to put back. All right. I don't like what I see. I'm gonna do a close-up of the existing wax ring. So if you look at that wax ring, it looks untouched, unbothered. It should be smashed. It should be crushed from the weight of the toilet sitting on it and forcing it to make a seal. This wax ring was never watertight from the looks of it. And I bet I know why. The flange below it is too low. That flange should be even with the floor or sitting on the floor, which would put it 1/4 of an inch above the floor. It is neither. It is below the floor, and we'll have to do something about that. We removed that wax ring. What I want to do here is clean the surface of the floor. As you can see, it's clean. And the surface of the existing flange. Because what I have to do is add a spacer to this flange to bring the height of it even with the floor, so the new wax ring gets crushed and sealed between the toilet and the flange. So I just want to remove this little extra pieces. All right, the spacer's down. I put some caulk between it and the existing flange. And now I want to secure it to the existing flange with some screws. And I know plumbers will have their opinions about how I've done this. This is how I do this. And I'm confident that it's a long-term fix. Yes, we could replace the flange, but this particular home is up for sale. and that's not gonna happen. All right. As soon as we get this secured, we're gonna put a nice fresh new wax ring down on it. Some new bolts. I'm making this look so easy. And that's the whole point. But I've done thousands of these. Or 1,000 of these. A lot, to be fair. Okay. Here's the new bolts. Fresh new brass bolts. Not reusing the old ones. Always use a new hardware when you replace something on a toilet. All right. These are gonna go in the same place they went before. We put the spacer there. We wanna have them sticking straight up so we can drop the toilet on them. Slight adjustment. New wax ring. Extra thick, reinforced to make sure the seal is good. Some plumbers put the wax ring under the toilet. I don't. I put the wax ring on the flange and I lower the toilet on the wax so I can feel the interaction between the toilet and the wax and know that I have a good seal. And that's just the bottom line with me. All right, toilet down, good seal. We're looking close at the bolt holes because through those holes, I can see the wax spreading out. I can see that the wax is stressed from the weight of the toilet and know I have a good seal, unlike the old one that was untouched. It's hard to see, but through this hole, you can see the wax is pushed out, right? Pushed out beyond the flange. And that's how I know I have a seal. So nothing left to do but tighten it back up and start running water. So right now we're putting the bolts back on we're putting the nuts back on the bolts. First put in the plastic washer, then metal washer, then the nut. Tightening down until the unit is snugged. Be careful not to over tighten these nuts because you could crack the porcelain base. Then you're definitely getting a new toilet. So get them snug with your hands. That's what I do first. I tighten them down with my hands, which could take a while because the bolt is usually 4 inches long. So again, I'm making this look easy, but if you make sure you shut your water off at the valve, take your time, watch my video, you won't have any problem getting through a wax ring replacement. So now I have a very small channel lock and I'm going to tighten it with the channel lock, being careful not to over tighten it, which is why it's important to have the plastic washer down, then the metal washer, then the nut. Okay? Now, what is going to happen is we're going to make sure it's tight. May move a little, especially when you have a tile floor. In this case, I think the tiles on the floor are actually wall tiles, so they're very slippery. So the caulk will be applied, and once it dries up, that along with the tightening of the nuts will keep this toilet from moving and keep it secure for use. While we at it, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a new flapper because I noticed the one that is here has shrunk. I'm not quite sure what causes these flappers to shrink, but I want to say it's the additives in the water will cause some of these flappers just to shrink, literally get smaller. So we're gonna put a new fresh one in here. Give this toilet new life. Support the channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm going to teach people how to get a lot of jobs done and save yourselves a lot of money. I'm going to build this channel for the common homeowner to have a visual encyclopedia of fixing plumbing issues in the house. Real down to earth, plain, giving it to you straight. Right now, the toilet's down, looking pretty. We're gonna caulk that base and cap those bolts. And we're ready to go after that. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah. That's a paycheck play. Mac Plumbing LLC. Alexander DIY. I'm Alexander. Okay, toilet's down, caulked and capped. You can see that bead of caulk going around the base of the toilet. That white bead of caulk all the way around, looking pretty and nice. That'll take 24 hours to dry up, and that toilet will be safe and secure for use. Mac Plumbing LLC.